Dr. Gregory Otton, again, thank you all for coming over to this channel. If you like the content, please give me a thumbs up. If you think the content is worthy to be shared, please be generous and share. Today, I also want to share a second part of this interview that I did with these three distinguished gentlemen, because the information in this video would be really life-changing if we are able to implement some of the things that we discussed on this platform. So one of the questions that was posed to me by Mr. Denzel Wills, and if you know Mr. Wills, you know that he's a very influential person in Jamaica. He was one of the chairperson of the Sports Foundation in Jamaica, which means that he at one point oversees some of the funding that was recommended for athletes. So he posed a question because he was concerned with the direction of where track and field in Jamaica is going. So he wanted to know from an Olympian viewpoint that what are some of the key points that we need to look out for, because he made a comparison in terms of West Indies cricket to say that they had all the talent and they suffer tremendously for the past 30 years, 20 to 30 years. And he wanted to know if I think that based on the direction of track and field in Jamaica, if it is possible that Jamaica may also suffer a similar fate. So I want you to listen to my response, and then I want you to share your opinion, and then I will come back and give you my final commentary.
I want us to recognize that we are now talking about the most successful sport for Jamaica internationally, without a doubt. And so there may be those who will think that, boy, how come we are bashing when this has been so successful? But that's not the point here. I think where we are is that everybody would like to see us do even better. And there are many who think that we could be doing better if we were harnessing things. I want to spend a brief moment with an analogy that I used in an article that I wrote for Jamaicans.com some time ago. And it has to do with cricket as far as the West Indies is concerned. Late 1970s, right until the early 1990s, West Indies cricket on top of the world. During that time, we lost the plot in terms of how would we sustain beyond a certain point. The Australians and some other countries, but the Australians in particular, studied what we were doing and implemented certain things. And as a result, Australia now may not be on top all the time, but they never fall to the bottom. We, in terms of West Indies, fell to the bottom in terms of cricket, coming from the very pinnacle. We are now riding a crest of success. Is the Paris situation a wake-up call to see, hey, are we losing the plot? Or is it just a lull, as Renford mentioned, where you're not going to be at the top all the time? Or is it that we have lost the plot and we may not be doing what it is that will make us sustainable? Greg, as an athlete, how do you respond to that?
So I am happy that I got a chance to work with this question here, because I remember back in the days, they would say banana can't done, yam can't done, because we are from Jamaica. But you look now, you see we're not dominating the banana market and we're not dominating the yam market. Now, for me, it's always about the fundamentals. Are the fundamentals in place? And I know that sometimes we look at the physical talent of what is going on in Jamaica in terms of picking talent. But what we don't see is the mental approach to getting an athlete to transition from amateur into the professional. Now, if you look at, let's say, Mr. Wills, you talk about cricket. Let's look at Australia for a minute. The bowlers are not stronger. They're not faster, but they're more intelligent. And for me, I always say that if we're going to dominate track and field in Jamaica, we have to go to the fundamentals. We have to focus on the intellect of the person. I was successful not because I was fast and strong. It was my intellect. It was how I deal with pressure. It was how I deal with conflict. It was how I put my race strategy together. And what I see now in Jamaica is that we are spending too much time focusing on the physical activities and we're not helping the athlete to be smart, intelligent, where they can be composed under pressure. And this is why I oftentimes say that the federations need to implement programs that can help with personal development. I've been asking time and time again, can you name any program that the JOA, the J3, or any other institution put together to help the athletes in terms of personal development, help with their intellect, help with their knowledge of the game, help with their understanding of what to do? If you don't invest in the mind, you're never going to get that sustained level of success that we seek. No, it might be a little bit of luck because the talent is there, just like with the West Indies. But what you see is that the other countries are catching up on us. You look at Africa, they're dominating the sprints now. Jamaica didn't qualify for the mile relay, and we see it been happening over and over, and we don't see what the problem is. And I'm here to say that the problem is not a physical thing. The problem is a mental thing. It's a psychological thing. And if we don't invest in the programs that can help to develop the person, the intellect, then you're just going to see things just slowly keep getting worse. And then we're going to throw more money with facilities. Look, we were dominating track and field when we only had one track, one stadium. We used to train on the grass. We used to lift water bottles, but we were still good enough because we had the ability to focus. We had the ability to tap from within. And I don't think that our people are getting it to say that we need to do more to invest in personal development. I leave it here for now.
Let me.
So as you can see that in order for track and field in Jamaica to grow, there are some things that you must do and you must get it right. And I think with our federations, I don't think they are looking at the big picture. I think they focus more on talent, and they think that once they have the talent and once the coaches are doing their jobs, that things will be better. But what they are not seeing is how everything is connected. For example, we know that the level of drive and commitment and determination that some of the athletes had in our time, that these young generation don't really have it. They are more engaged in social media and other platforms, and they are not as hungry as we were, because it was maybe a one-time opportunity to dig our family and get out of poverty. So we are motivated by two different worldview. And it is important to know that if we are going to guide these young minds, that it must be done the right way. And one of the ways you can inspire them is by sharing the right information that can help them to develop personally. And that is what Dr. Greg and his team is all about, to make sure that we can help with the development, the mental and the physical development of the athletes, because we know that at the end of the day, if we are not able to invest in the minds of our athletes, that time will catch up with them the same way how it catch up with the West Indies. So I thank you again for your support. I really want to hear your opinion. So please feel free to leave your opinion in the comment section. I thank you very much for listening. I am Dr. Gregory Horton. Have a blessed day.